Just unpack this DJI Neo and we're going to connect up to it. So the first thing you do is press this short press and then long press. Propellers turn a little bit and we wait for that light. So that's stable. So if I go into the DJI Fly app, I should now be able to bind to the drone. Only I can't, because as we'll see, well, let me give you a bit of history from this. This drone was bought from a DJI official reseller, but it was shop returned, so the drone hasn't been flown. No cycles on the battery, or one cycle on the battery. Somebody bought it and returned it, and as we'll see in the app, it's actually bound to that person. Now we'll see what we can do about that, if anything. What does binding mean? Well, it basically associates a drone, a serial number, with an email address. Effectively, that drone, as far as DJI is concerned, belongs to the person who's bound the drone. Now that's good. It makes theft, or if you just find a drone that's flown away, you can't just claim it. You have to go to DJI, and well, you can't do necessarily a great deal with the drone. What's the actual restriction? Something like a DJI Neo self-flying drone, it's not too obvious. But as the drone doesn't belong to you because it's bound to somebody else, you don't benefit from things like the DJI Care package. Now, for more sophisticated drones, or if you use the DJI with a controller, it can actually prevent you flying the drone. And at any time, the person who bound the drone can declare the drone as stolen, and it can be bricked by DJI. So it's quite important to make sure that if you're buying a second-hand drone, or if you're getting it from a retailer, that the drone isn't bound, or if it is bound, return it or get it unbound. With this drone, because it came from a DJI reseller, although it was a return drone, I thought that would be pretty easy. I'll just contact DJI, and I did so on the helpline, and they were pretty reactive. And they said that if I could get an official letter, although I had the receipt and I sent them a receipt for the drone, they said I needed an official letter saying that the reseller, Darty, actually owned the drone and sold it to me legitimately. Now, I got a letter, but they then said to me, we've made a mistake. It actually needs a DJI stamp on. And because the letter had been sent to me as a PDF, I couldn't do that easily. What Darty said to me is just return the drone to them. And that was an option. But I decided one last thing. I said to DJI, can you contact the person the drone's bound to? You can see in the application, you can see a part of the address, and ask them to unbind the drone, because clearly they bought it and returned it to Darty. Well, they did that, and they got a response after about 3 or 4 days. And this is a message you see quite a lot in the forums. Basically, the person who bound the drone said, "Yes, I bound the drone, but I'm not going to unbind it." Now that seems a bit odd. It seems under those circumstances there should be some process to actually get a drone unbound that isn't legitimately in that person's hands. But there isn't, and this puts a big brake on the market. Things have actually got more complicated though since the 19th of June 2025. DJI are obviously getting fed up with all these unbinding requests because it's quite laborious. So now they say the drone has to be unbound by the original owner or the controller or whatever the device is. So you have to either ensure that happens before you buy the drone, or you contact the owner, and for that you need their email address or some kind of contact details, and they go into the application and unbind the drone. So you'll no longer be able to actually go to DJI and ask them to try and unbind the drone, probably because it seems to be unsuccessful a lot of the time. What can you do? Well, you can get the sender to send you the serial number of the drone they're selling. This you will find generally under the battery compartment of the drone or on the box. So they send you a picture of that. You don't actually need to pair the drone or attempt to pair the drone with your application. You can do it remotely. You can go to this website, repair.dji.com, and this lets you check a serial number. So for example, on this one, you need to be able to read it. Okay, you need to have an account with DJI, and on my browser, there seems to be a bit buggy. So slide that across to verified, click on check, and it tells you it's a DJI Mini 2 SE, and it tells you it's activated on the 1st of August 2024, so that's about 10 months ago. It's currently activated, so you'd have to get the seller to deactivate this in his app, DJI Fly app. Otherwise, you won't be able to use that drone. And another example, this was the drone that I bought. Came from Darty, which is a French DJI reseller, and it was a return drone. And I'll type the serial number in. This is what I bought and had to return to them. And you see it was activated in March. The person returned it to the shop. The shop then sold it as a reconditioned drone, but it's still activated. And I'll show you the conversation. I had a long conversation with DJI about this, and it was in the end impossible to get this unbound. So I had to return it to the reseller. But of course, if I just bought it, that's lucky because it was an official reseller and they have a returns procedure. If I just bought it off the internet, some random person, that might have been it. I might have been lumbered with a drone that, as far as DJI concerned, didn't belong to me.